be aware of the situation, and we have realized that it is important that we go ahead with the virtual platform. We ensure that our academic and our professional growth is not stalled by this situation. So that is precisely the reason as to why we went ahead with this mode itself. I'm very happy to welcome you all to this situation. I would like to extend my warm welcome to the director of our institute, Dr. P.S. Sathidevi Madam. She's a very busy person these days, especially considering the inauguration of the hostels on our campus. But I'm very happy and I'm very glad with the support that she has always given to us. And she was very happy to find a new slot to join us in this inaugural function. Dear Director, we welcome you to this inaugural function. Now we have the chief guest of the event with us today, Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri, the Group CEO of Urangal Labour Contract Cooperative Society Ltd. In Calicut. We have been associated with this organization in the past as well. Last year also we had our chief guest from ULCCS, and our learning with ULCCS have been a continuous one. And we are extremely happy to have Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri here with us today. Again, he has again rescheduled his busy time and then joined us for this inaugural function today. I'm sure that we will benefit from the experience that he has had in the market as an engineer, as a professional, and as the group CEO of ULCCS. So it is our pleasure to welcome Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri to this inaugural function. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Now we have the registrar of our institute, Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan K, with us. He was, whenever you meet him, you always get to hear from him the association that he has had with Tarang precisely, specifically. This is his 4th Tarang, and he is very happy and proud to be part of Tarang. And it is a pleasure to have him with us. He has always been guiding us with his wisdom. We welcome you, sir, for this meeting. Now we have Dr. S.D. Madhu, sir, the Dean of Students' Welfare, who has always made sure that he is present in our meetings. He lends his advices, his service to us. And even when he is busy with other academic activities and institute-related activities, he always tries to find some time for the activities of the Management Students Association and SOMS as a department. So we welcome Dr. Madhu, sir, to this meeting. Tarang 2021 will not be possible if we do not have the support of the faculty members, the ad hoc faculty members, etc., including the non-teaching staff of our institute. Faculty and the ad hoc faculty members have been part of various committees, and they have always been the guiding spirits behind this event. And I welcome all the faculty members, the ad hoc faculty members, and the non-teaching staff who have extended their support and help towards the event itself and in organizing the event in a very good fashion. So I welcome all of you to this inaugural function. Now I would move to the most important people in the Tarang Management Fest, the backbone of our Management Fest, the students, especially the student coordinators and the core team that is organizing the Management Fest, along with all the other participants. As I was mentioning, it has been a tough year for us, and all of us have struggled, but I would say that students have struggled more with network issues, with anxieties related to placement, with exams, with online learning. So when we were pushed into such a difficult situation, you guys have shown the true color, the true spirit of learning itself. You have shown how strong you are and how strong-willed you are. So I welcome all of you to this inaugural function, and I hope that you have a wonderful management fest this year. And I would also welcome all the participants from various colleges, various universities, and institutes who have joined us for this management fest, who have taken time from their busy schedule to join us. Many of them have their exams, their semester related activities, but they have made sure that they have been part of this. When I say this, we need to know that we have always had several pre-Tarang activities. Several of these online competitions have been going on, and we have got very good response from several colleges across India. So we welcome all the participants from other colleges, institutes, and universities to this inaugural function. We cannot be defeated very easily, and we have already proven that. And we are going to make sure that we learn from this experience, we learn together, and we come out with flying colors. And that is precisely the reason as to why this Management Fest is going to be a wonderful event, a successful event, and a learning experience for all of us. So I welcome all of you once again to this inaugural function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that magnificent welcome to everyone present over here. Now I would like to invite Dr.T. Radha Ramanan, the Head of Department, School of Management Studies, to deliver the keynote address. So,
thank you for inviting me. Respected Chief Guest, Shri Raveendran Kasthuri, Group CEO, ULCCS Ltd, our beloved Director in charge, Dr. P.S.Sathidevi, our beloved Registrar, Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan, Dean Student Welfare, Dr. Madhu Kumar, Tarang Coordinator, Dr.Reju Mathew, my faculty colleagues, students, and participants. A very warm good afternoon wishes to all of you. Now, currently being the head of the department, I take use of this opportunity to make a brief introduction about the department, about Tarang, and present a sort of annual report of the School of Management Studies. And this annual report starts from the period of the inauguration of the previous Tarang, and till this date, what has the School of Management Studies done is what that I will be presenting now. Now, before actually starting my presentation, I would like to thank the chief guest for having accommodated our request. It was planned for tomorrow, and because of the emergencies or the change in schedule with respect to the institute, he had to change his plans also. Thank you, sir, for accommodating our request. And again, he had certain meetings now just before this session to begin, and again he has changed those schedule as well to accommodate and attend early. So thank you, sir, again for that. Now, coming to my agenda, what I would like to tell about the progress that is made by School of Management during this 1 year. I would like to begin by telling about the history of School of Management Studies, in short known as SOMS. It was established in the year 2009, and it began to offer the program from 2010 onwards. While the sanction strength in 2010 was 30, the current intake strength is at 75 now, though we are not in a position to fill up all the seats because of certain administrative issues. We have been getting around 50 candidates per year. The department that was started with in 2009 with 3 regular faculty members now has 9 regular faculty members and 7 ad hoc faculty members. And the department is consistently moving towards a position of strength, both with respect to the quantity and quality from where it was. The Students Management Association, which is conducting this Tarang, was started in the year 2011 And this association has given a platform for the students to showcase their organization skills, leadership, and administrative skills. Along with the inauguration of Tarang 2020, the Students Club of National Institute of Personnel Management was also inaugurated. This is the second club activities which is started officially, while the Students Management Association is affiliated to CMIE Calicut division. This NIPM students, the Students chapter is associated with NIPM, and it specifically functions regarding the HR area in which SOMS is offering a specialization. So this association with NIPM has enabled SOMS to enter into a network of personnel managers across India. Tarang, when started in the year 2011, it was confined to the department alone because the then Students Welfare Dean was hesitant to offer this Tarang because the institute was already having a national level fest, and the worry was like whether it would be turning into another cultural fest which is only for the songs and the dances. But our students were dynamic enough to change this into a management fest. Those initial skepticism was not coming true, and the students took this in the right spirit and made it into a technical fest, into a technical management fest. Slowly, from being intra-institute, it became inter-institute across Kerala, and now this is the 5th edition that is taking place pan-India. Ever since 2017, when the first Pan-India Management Fest was announced, the Tarang got expanded. The event is getting bigger and better. Time is a catalyst for many changes, and Tarang 2021 being conducted online is a change, and challenges that are posing because of this event being conducted online. And this challenge is not just for the organizers of the event, it is also for the participants and the others involved in this exercise. I hope this online conducting of this event will give us enough experience, and we will be learning about more of event management through this online conducting exercise of this management fest. Our students also participate in management fests conducted by other institutes across India, and notable among the winners were Reshma M. And Mr. Sanjay. Both of them won for the Best Business Plan Award. It was a runner-up, actually, it was a runner-up that they got at Christ University, Bangalore for the Best Business Plan. Amal got an award for video editing at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, New Delhi. 3 students, Ms. Archa, Ms. Parveen, and Mr. Nitin Raj, presented and published papers in journals and international conferences. The Management Association, rather the Students Management Association, encourages them to participate in technical fests and for publication of papers in the international journals. And the technical fest pan-India is encouraged to be attended. During 2021, faculty members have published 7 papers in peer-reviewed SCI and Scopus indexed publications, in addition to book chapters. During the time, the faculty members have also attended and presented papers in the international conferences, delivered invited lectures at different short-term training programs and faculty development programs. In fact, these situation, the current environment wherein the webinars are being conducted online, it has also facilitated for more number of faculty members to get associated with these FDPs and short-term training programs. There were also during this period, there were 5 research scholars who had completed their PhD from School of Management Studies and they were awarded their degree. And currently there are 18 research scholars on roll from where in 2012 it was 1 research scholar on roll. Now it has increased to 18 research scholars. It is because of the policy that the humanities also began to recruit their research scholars from 2020 onwards. So there are 18 research scholars currently on roll in various phases of their research. 2 weeks orientation will normally be held for the first year students after their admission so that they will be getting aware of what is the type of pedagogy that will be required, that will be delivered, and what are the skills that will be required for them to learn during this period of stay of 2-year MBA program. This year too it was held and we had speakers from industry and alumni to address the students. The Students Management Association also regularly conduct the MEX talks where it is the management experts who would interact with the students, share their experience of their industry, of their profile, so that the students get benefited about what are the real-time environment in which they will have to work. The NIPM chapter also was active and arranged for 4 webinars by practicing HR professionals. The batch of 2020 has also seen good placements. 75% of the students of the batch have been placed in various reputed organizations such as Deloitte, TCS, South Indian Bank, HDFC Bank, Federal Bank, with the banks always leading our placements. Then Ernst & Young, White Hat Junior, ITI, etc. The average pay has been 7.5 lakhs. The placements are progressing for the current batch of students. And so far 13 students are placed in TCS and Deloitte. But due to the pandemic, the summer internship opportunities are limited. Nevertheless, our students underwent internships with organizations such as SBI, Edge Equities, ULTS, Spatial Thoughts, etc. In tune with the shift in focus to the research in educational institutes of higher education, SOMS has adopted to this research culture. This could be understood from the number of publications, number of graduated research scholars, and the increased intake in the number of research scholars in the department. Apart from the above, humanities and behavioral science lab is being set up in SOMS for research purpose, and thanks to the faculty research grant offered by the institute. 3 research proposals have also been submitted to various sponsoring agencies, and it is in different stages of consideration. We had procured software such as Stata, Smart PLS, StatCraft, Amos, and Arena, and databases such as EPWRF and CMAE Progress. So this will be catering to the need of the newly recruited research scholars who would be requiring hands-on experience on these decision-making tools. Reputation of NIT Calicut, the infrastructure that is being provided by NITC and the SOMS infrastructure in particular, the faculty members and pedagogies that have been adopted by our faculty have been the strength of SOMS. Our students form the backbone who try to capture whatever that is being taught, and they try to practice it wherever that is practicable. They are also active and interactive in the social media, playing a major role during our admission process onwards towards informing the public about the activities that are taking place in SOMS. Last year during the floods, the activities carried out by the SOM students were appreciated by the local media and also by the local people and by the local society. So our students together, with the determination, confidence, support and participation of all the stakeholders of the NIT Calicut and School of Management Studies, we hope to achieve better standards and improve the scope and scale of the program to better heights. Thank you all for the patience listening to my address. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. P.S.Sathidevi, the Director NIT Calicut, for the inauguration of Tarang 21.
Thank you, Dr. Radha Ramanan, for presenting an exhaustive report on the activities of School of Management Studies. And I sincerely congratulate and appreciate all faculty, staff, and students of School of Management Studies for your continuing efforts to raise the level of our institute to greater heights. So thank you very much. Now, good evening to all of you. As Paul J. Mayer said, productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. A warm greetings to one and all present here. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be a part of the inaugural function of Annual Management Fest, Tarang 21, being organized by School of Management Studies, NIT Calicut, during 27th and 28th February, completely through online mode. With the prevailing pandemic situation around the globe, everything is transitioning into a virtual mode, which tends to be quite challenging. I sincerely appreciate the enthusiasm of the students and faculty members of School of Management Studies to conduct the Management Fest online despite the hurdles of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your will to work remotely but in union to put together the 5th edition of Tarang is truly admirable. But it is quite sad that you were not able to conduct the first in the campus and make it more colorful. But I can see that it has not let down your spirits and you are very well prepared to host the event online. As you know, the festival like this, whether it is technical or cultural, gives immense opportunities to the students to gain competence in their organization and managerial skills. In fact, one of the missions of NIT Calicut is to develop high quality personnel with technical and managerial skills to work for the progress of mankind. On behalf of the Institute, I heartily welcome our chief guest, Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri, Group's CEO of ULCCS Ltd, for the inaugural ceremony of Tarang 21. Mr. Kasthuri has been very closely interacting with the Institute administration for the past few years as a member of the Board of Governors of NIT Calicut. Moreover, he is one of our distinguished alumni and he is just 1 year senior to me. Institute is so proud and happy to have Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri as the chief guest for this prestigious event. He worked at IBM for about 23 years and is currently the Group CEO of ULCCS. I believe that a person with so much experience could be a primary role model for many. I'm sure that many of you are going to get inspired from him in this short span of time. I wish all the very best to the faculty and students of School of Management Studies to conduct and coordinate this event successfully. I take this opportunity to once again congratulate all student coordinators and faculty coordinators of Tarang 21 for organizing all the events in virtual mode. I wish good luck to all the participants of various competitions of this event. May the best performer win. Thank you all, and once again, best wishes to Team Tarang 21. Have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, it's my honor and privilege to introduce today's chief guest, Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri, Chief Executive Officer of Urlangan Labour Contracts Cooperative Society, known as ULCCS. With over 30 years of experience in IT, garnering extensive experience with clients from countries across the globe, Mr. Kasthuri brings to the table a versatile skill set in management. He was also the managing director at IBM and is an esteemed alumni of NIT Calicut. It's our pleasure and privilege to have him as a chief guest for the inaugural ceremony of Tarang 21. Let us welcome our honorable chief guest, Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri, CEO, ULCCS. Welcome, sir. I invite you to grace this occasion with a few words.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Arya. So first of all, thank you for inviting me to this auspicious event and a great event, because during my time, we never had this opportunity of Tarang, right? Because Dr.Sathidevi may remember that we didn't have this management studies at that time, right? And I studied when it was REC, not NIT. So it is admirable things are happening in NIT. I think latest I saw some of the inaugurations are planned for tomorrow for the mega hostel. That was all our dreams, right? To get that kind of hostels and facilities and other things. So the world has changed. I think great to see how NIT is progressing and how NIT is making waves across, right? And this kind of event, I think I heard a lot from all of you. So it is great to see such event happening in such a short span of time with the kind of focus you all have, even with COVID around. I think you took your time, and as Dr. Sathidevi said, it is not easy, right, to organize this kind of event, especially virtually. But the fact is, actually, change is constant, and it is happening with all of you. And COVID is actually a great opportunity in that way. See, one of the change, what we are seeing in the industry happening with COVID is the enormous, what do you say, change acceptance, right, across the world, right? Because a couple of years back, or maybe last year, this time or previous to that time, if any change, if you have to introduce to a customer, it would have been very difficult, especially if you start discussing with them digital or something like that. They will think that, okay, let me look at it, let me think over it, and maybe we will have time. Everybody was thinking that there is a lot of time, but the COVID made some of the changes overnight, right? And I have seen some of the companies, especially in US and other places. I think there was a company who was completely doing retail, and overnight they changed all the people who were in the stores to some kind of, I think, retrain them to really make them fit for the home delivery and some of the other things. And close to around 100,000 people got retrained, and within a week's time, they have become one of the best, the home delivery team in US, in that kind of a thing, right? So the changes, and previously they were thinking to make that kind of changes, it would have taken almost few months or few years, right? And so that made possible because people suddenly realized that there is no other go. And that is the position where the acceptance of change becomes much more easier. So that way, I think COVID made a huge change for you, especially. I think you are all now students. You are getting maybe in a couple of years' time you will get out of management studies and you start embracing the world, right, and the opportunities. You suddenly see a world which is much more adaptable to you compared to maybe some of the future generations, right? And so that way, I would say that you are luckiest because of COVID, right? Without which it would have been very difficult, right? So you all should thank yourself. Okay, COVID happened. It is a pandemic. It is very challenging, very difficult. But at the same time, today's generation should feel really lucky that something like that happened, because they could really get into a world which is ready to accept the changes much more faster and much more better. And you are in much better position to be really utilizing those opportunities in the world. Right, and that is as an introductory remark I want to tell. So welcome to all of you to this great world after a pandemic, and we call it as new normal, right? And which is never going to be like 2019. It is going to be a very different 2021 onwards, right? And once vaccine is in place, we think that things will get back into normal. And definitely, the business is also taking shape now. We are seeing a lot more opportunities opening up, and a lot more things are happening. And whatever was the downturn happened last year, some part of it may come back in 21 and 22 and other things. So that way, we are all looking forward to a much better 2021 and maybe beyond, right? And that is something which will happen. And at the same time, I think another big change, what is happening in the world is actually the job itself is changing, right? And how the future job. I think today morning we had a very interesting discussion. We were planning for next year, right? And how we should really think of the HR function and other things. And all. So one of the things we are seriously thinking is actually the organization should become more like much more open, where people should be able to apply for new jobs within the organization, right? Because things are changing so fast. Whatever role was existing yesterday is no more going to be there maybe after 6 months or 9 months or something like that. So that way, suddenly you see a place where people have to change their job roles and skills and other things much faster. So it actually means whoever is ready to unlearn and relearn, they are going to be the people who are going to be very successful in the future. So our thought process was actually how we'll make people realize and people really learn those things. And we think that is a very challenging thing for the organization, right? Because when you get into an organization, when people, suppose you are very good with Java or Python or some of the technologies, then people think that is going to take them for ages, right? But then suddenly we see that new frameworks are coming, new way of doing business is coming. How will make these people really learn the new things much faster? And learning, as you all know, you can't force anybody to learn anything, right? It has to come from inside. And how you will make that need for the people inside. I think we have faculty members and others, and they all will realize this much better. I think the good students are always who loves the subject, right? And if the person doesn't love the subject, they will find it extremely difficult to learn it, right? And so that is where I think you all with very high rank, very high credits get into the college, but afterwards all the marks are becoming very different. It has nothing to do with your intellectual caliber or capability. It is more to do with your interest, right? And how you will create that interest in people. That is what industry is going to face. So industry is going to become more like academics going forward, right? Where industry has to create an environment where everybody is ready to unlearn and relearn. And that is going to be a very big challenge for the future world, right? And the people who are going to be successful are also those people who can unlearn and relearn faster. So, and you will hear a lot more of upskilling, reskilling and all nowadays, because the skill requirement is changing very dramatically. And whatever was becoming very successful skills yesterday may not anymore be really the things of the future. So this is one, I think you all should be very, very much ready for embracing that kind of challenges. And you are all very lucky because you should not stop learning, right? And you should actually start unlearning. And that is going to be the big problem, because our generation was lucky because we didn't have so much problem for unlearning. And now for learning anything new, you have to unlearn a lot of the past. And that unlearning part for industry is going to be a much more challenging thing. And that is the challenge you are going to face, right, in the new world. So be ready to unlearn whatever you learn and really see how you can start relearning things right from scratch, afresh, right? Can you be that first class student on every day, right? Every day you have to really start treating like that. That is what will take you embrace the future much better and much faster. And that is something we are definitely seeing in the industry, and with all the things NIT is doing, I'm sure that you are all ready for that. And from the, as some of the other thoughts which I want to share is actually, I was always wondering why India is India, right? And why we see one side so much of problems happening, and on other side we hear that so many people are unemployed, right? And then we hear a lot of people thinking of startup and other things and all, but nothing is really coming up, right? And this is something I want you to really think, as you are, I think a lot of you are thinking of maybe taking up job. And I think Radha Ramanan also, Dr. Radha Ramanan also was explaining how many people got into TCS, how many people got into this thing. I think you all should really think of how you can be an employer, right? How you can give job to maybe 2 or 3 people, or maybe 10 people, or maybe 15, right? And if it grows, it is better. So I think be an entrepreneur, and that ecosystem is really opening up now, and it is coming up because that is the need of the hour, right? Because such a kind of unemployment things are happening in India. Unless we get people who can really create the jobs, that unemployment problems are never going to be resolved. So it is very important, especially for management students like you, really taking up those kind of opportunities and becoming real entrepreneurs to really give the job rather than thinking that you will take up the job, right? And that is what will make the world very entrepreneur, right? India, if you really take it, the kind of problem India is facing, whether you take administratively or whether you take many of the other organizational issues and other problems, you see it in almost everything. You will see opportunities for newer ideas, newer way of implementing things, for newer products maybe getting introduced, and many other things definitely you can see happening going forward, right? And that is a huge opportunity. And what is it really preventing India to really get into that? I think there is a lot of societal and mindset issues, but I think that will get resolved over a period of time once success happens, right? And entrepreneurial thing, one of the major hurdle today, this is my very personal view, is actually how we deal with the failures, right? And there are two kind of failures. When people fail, let's say you take up a job, which is a traditional job, and if you don't succeed in that, that is one kind of a failure, right? And there is another kind of failure where you get a new idea, you want to really start something new, you put all your effort, you really work very hard, but then sometimes some of the startups and other things may not succeed the way we are really thinking. That is another kind of failure. And the second kind of failure is very much good, because you learn so much with those kind of failures. It is unimaginable, and you become much ahead of somebody who was doing a regular job or something like that, right? And today the problem India is facing is India is not able to recognize the difference between the two failures. So many times when somebody fails with the second approach, that is they start something and fail, we start treating them same as somebody took up some routine things and again failed there. And I think, but the world is changing, and you will definitely see going forward you becoming much more acceptable with those kind of failures where you take up something new and you become much richer and much better in terms of experiences. So be ready for that. And if you can really embrace that, you will be doing a great service to India and great service for the world also. And there are enough and more problems for the world to be resolved, right? And if you look around, you can see thousands of problems where definitely with your capability and your partnership with some of the others, you can really solve it. So I encourage all of you to really get into that world, because more you do that, I think India will be better and richer with that, right? And the other part I wanted to really maybe share with you is actually how we are ready to take the pain for growth, right? And so many times you hear people saying that I am very comfortable, right? Or very comfortable in the job or comfortable in whatever they are doing, etc. I think you have to really start understanding when you get into the real world, growth happens when you are really uncomfortable, when you stretch yourself. So you become a little bit more uncomfortable in whatever you are doing. So every day morning you look up, you get up, look into the mirror and ask, are you feeling really very comfortable today? In that, and 3-4 days you start feeling same thing, then that is the time for a change, because you should never feel that kind of comfort, because when you are more comfortable, that means you are not growing. And you should always feel challenged, you should always feel little uncomfortable in whatever you are doing, right? Because that means you are learning something new, you are doing something different. Unless you are able to accept that kind of uncomfort, it is going to be very difficult for growth. So I used to tell people saying that try to see how you can be comfortable with the uncomfort and uncomfortable with the comfort, right? And if you can really learn that, I think you will definitely, you all will grow tremendously, because being part of NIT, it is very clear that you are the few who can really be growing and who can really reach to the top of the world. And don't lose that opportunity. The world is ready for you. The world is given a new opportunity, the new normal after COVID. And there are many things you can do it. And I am really excited to really see the kind of opportunities which is throwing up in the world. And you all should be very proud. And with all that things, I'm sure that when in Tarang, you will be discussing many of these things. And I wish all the very best for this particular event what you are conducting. And congratulations to all the people to get some of this kind of things organized, because this kind of discussions and this kind of events are going to really make a very different kind of awareness, which can make you very, very different. And all the best to all of you. And thank you for inviting me again here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those very informative and inspiring words. Now, I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan K, Registrar NITC, to address the gathering. Sir.
Our beloved Director in charge, Dr. Sathidevi Madam, today's chief guest, Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri, HOD, Dr. Radha Ramanan, our dear Dean Student Welfare, Dr. Madhu, all organizers of the event, dear students of SOMS and the faculties, and all the special participants of today's Tarang 21. You are all lucky today. You got a very
Sir, your audio is on mute.
Okay, you are all lucky today, all the participants. I could see around 95 to 100 people join here. You are all the very lucky to hear Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri. It's an excellent tips he had given to you how to you come out with a shining colors in this present scenario in this country. Yes, indeed, he told that you should not look for the job. You should be the job givers. This is what actually required, that MBA, what you are doing. So now at present you have seen what is happening due to the pandemic. We thought everything will be stopped. Nothing had stopped. Everything working. Even the industries, IT, everything managing. Because of the excellent people who are sitting at the head of each organization. They could manage very well. We thought it will be collapsing. 2 years, almost 1.5 years with this pandemic, we closed down everything. But everybody working from home and all the IT industries, everything working as usual, maybe a little problem. But as Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri told, this is this new normal is a really good thing for all of us. We could learn something how to live in such a difficult situation also. Yeah, aptly he told, we have to slog, we have to find the difficulties, we have to face the difficulties. Then only you will have the mind to learn. So as our country already looking everywhere, you can see Atmanirbhar Bharat. So you all have to work very hard. You have to put in your effort, whatever you are learning, so that we can be one of the independent country and we can shine internationally, our India. So this is a very good area where you can share your thoughts, you can participate in the competition, and all of you can share others what they are doing, what is their idea. So that you should have to develop. Mere studying MBA is not at all apt for you all. You have to get what the exact thing we can look forward. And you have seen that many educational apps and all nowadays is doing a wonderful job. We never thought we will be able to teach whatever. Some restrictions are there in our teaching, but these excellent apps who are made, they're all comfortable. At least we all could speak. We all could interact very well than physically what we are doing in the pre-pandemic period. So I'm very impressed that Tarang 21 you could organize, though we missed the Tarang 20, as our convener already told. I'm very lucky to be there with you for all these 4 years, the part of the Tarang festival. So when I joined here in somewhere 2016, the very next week I was invited for the Tarang. That was my starting for the Tarang. Then only I came to know how well our students community is organizing such events like Tarang, Ragam, and other Tattva and all. So it's an excellent demonstration by you all. And I'm really impressed by the title of the events, this Tarang 21. Summon me. Initially I thought what and all it is, but it is a excellent amalgamation, whatever tradition, whatever Indian culture tradition, you all amalgamated so well in the management. It's a good spirit. And I was going through someone with this for the HR and Danard with the treasure hunt. Initially, I was wondering what is this, but it's an excellent thought whoever made this title for the event, and hope all the participants from the other colleges, they really enjoy the time here and who are present here, and the wholehearted participation we are expecting, and you all can learn each other. And it's an excellent event what all you are organizing, and congratulations for the organizers for in a very short time you all could manage and organize. Even you could pre-port whatever you have planned to today, so that all we could at least peacefully contribute in this. Because as the convener already told, we are busy with tomorrow's inaugural functions. So still we could come, our director in charge, madam also could participate. So an excellent gesture from all of you. And I'm wishing all of the participants all the very best. And the participation is very important. Winning is maybe 1 or 2, but the participation and the whatever your ideas which is coming out, that is what important. Once again, I am thankful you are all selecting such a good personality like Mr. Raveendran Kasthuri for this event, and excellent tips you got being as an entrepreneur from him. And I wish you all very best, and we are all looking forward very good entrepreneurs from you in the future days to come. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for those kind and appreciative words. Now I would like to invite Dr. S.T. Madhu Kumar, Student Welfare Dean, to speak a few words.
Am I audible, Lakshmi?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Respected Director in Charge, Professor Sathidevi Madam, Registrar, Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan, our board member as well as the ULCC Chairman Raveendran Kasthuri, Dr. Radha Ramanan, Head of School of Management Studies, and my dear students. So actually there was a confusion. I was under the impression that this inauguration is scheduled tomorrow. So but suddenly Lakshmi has reminded me that it is today, just a few minutes back. So anyway, I think we were lucky, or I was with you during Tarang 2020. It was a grand event. I'm happy to note that this year also SOMS is coming forward to organize the online version of Tarang. As our chief guest, Dr. Reveendran Kasthuri has told, this COVID has already changed the life of all of us, or all the people. So now we are talking about working from home and working from everywhere, or we can say working at every time. Now there is no specific time for work. So when you are even you are traveling, or when you are in the train or flight or in airport, you have the connectivity, and you can do your official work. That is actually the situation. So the old style of working from 9 to 5:30 in an office has already changed even before COVID. But the only thing is that during the COVID time, it has become a practice for everyone. Now the classes are also happening online, and many of our colleagues say that now everyone is getting accustomed to this online mode of teaching. Even all the meetings are happening online. So earlier only some companies who are having uh, multinational companies were having these online meetings. Now online meeting is there for each and every activity. So as everybody is saying, it has become the new normal for everyone. So everyone is trying to be successful in the life. So can we think of what do you mean by the success of life? Earlier, or in the younger days, everyone will think that once you get a decent job, a good job title, and a good salary will make you a successful person, or your life will become successful. Once you get a reasonably good salary for meeting all your expenses, and also if you have a reasonable job title, a good job will make your life comfortable. But in today's, the reality is much beyond that. So a good job and a good salary will only make a portion of, it will only do some portion of the success of your life. Your life is successful when you have free time, and when you have time to do whatever you would like to do, and when you have time to spend on your health, on your physical health. You need time to relax, and you need time to concentrate on your mental health. So your mental health, your physical health, the time that is available for doing the things that you would like to do, all those things are more important than getting a job as well as getting a decent salary. Of course, those two are important, but these things, your physical health, your mental health, and time for doing interesting things are very, very important than the other two parameters, which earlier people, or in younger days, I was also thinking like that. If I get a very good job and if I get a good salary, I will be successful. So later we realized that there are many other components for life. And some people say that life is like a shuttle badminton game. So I used to play, or I play shuttle badminton. And in shuttle badminton, the thing is that everyone wants to win. Nobody is playing to get defeated. You want to win. And what you have to do is you have to serve well, you have to return well, and the most important thing that we have to remember is a shuttle badminton game starts with love all. So we have to love everyone, and life is like a badminton game. So I hope this edition of Tarang will be a grand success. This COVID will only, the social distancing or the distance that COVID has created will only be on your physical distance. Mentally, we all have to be very, very close, or it should not affect our mental distance between the minds. Mind should be very close. Mind should be close as even before the pandemic time. But of course, physically, we have to maintain the social distancing. So the social distancing is only for the physical part, but mentally, we all need to be together. So I wish all the very best for the various events of Tarang online, and also I understand that there are more number of participants present in this online inaugural event than the physical meeting that we had last time. So I hope this trend will continue, and the coming 2 days we will have a wonderful, we will have all the programs in a wonderful manner in this online edition. Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come and talk to you all. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we are nearing the end of the ceremony. I invite Ms.Lakshmy Manoj, Tarang 21 coordinator, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Respected Director, Chief Guest, Deans, Registrar, HOD, Tarang Convener, faculty members, students, participants, and all the members who have joined this session. It's my honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks for this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I thank our Chief Guest, Mr.Raveendran Kasthuri, Group CEO, ULCCS Ltd, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion and inspire us by telling us the real-world scenarios of the new norm. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. P.S.Sathidevi, the Director NITC, for inaugurating this event and for her valuable support for this fest. My heartfelt thanks to the retired Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan K, Registrar NIT Calicut, for gracing this occasion with his words of wisdom. I extend my thanks to Dr. S.D. Madhu, Student Welfare Dean, for his support, encouragement, and for talking about taking care of the elements of life. I would like to thank Dr. Sally George, Academic Dean, for her gracious presence and support for this function. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Mohammed Firoz, Students Welfare Associate Dean, for being part of this occasion. We are grateful to Dr. T. Radha Ramanan, Head of the Department SOMS, for the stewardship, vision, and support that he has always shown us. My heartfelt gratitude to Dr.Reju George Mathew, Tarang 21 Convener, for his guidance and encouragement throughout this journey. I thank all the faculty members for their guidance was given to us during the preparation of Tarang 21. I owe a special gratitude to all the members of the SOMS family who have helped us while we were away from the campus. I would like to thank Mr. Jitin Chakalakil and all others who have helped us directly and indirectly for the success of this function. Last but not least, I would like to thank the first year and second year MBA students and PhD students of the MBA department for the cooperation and teamwork. During this uncertain time where we are separated by distance, the vigor and dedication each and everyone beholds help to keep the spirits high. I cannot thank everyone enough for the help, support, and encouragement. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this special occasion.
I, on my own behalf and on the behalf of the department, would like to thank the director in charge, Dr. Sathidevi, the chief guest, Mr.Raveendran Kasthuri, the registrar, Lieutenant Colonel Pankajakshan, the dean, who have made themselves available among their busy schedule to attend this event. Thank you all, madam and sirs.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. All the best.
So we are winding.
Yes, sir.